Welcome to another episode of Solitaire Quest. Sorry about the fan in the background, but it's a bit cold where I am. So anyway, these are my thoughts. These are my thoughts on the idea that amongst the ruling elite, that there is a cabal of pedophiles that exists. Now, I find that theory, I find it far-fetched, but not implausible. Now, here's why. If you don't know already, if you haven't seen my previous videos, well, yep. Then yeah, you know why I think it's plausible. But another reason why I think it's, no, there are more reasons why I think it's plausible. Now, in the last 100 years, some of the major things that have happened is you have the increase in you have the increase in secularism, and the reduced attendance of religious services. You got the degradation of the family unit. You got the degradation of the family unit. A lot of single parents out there, you know. And you also have the increased sexualization of women starting at younger and younger ages. Now, this is in the last 100 years. Now, if you're part of this organization, what you want to do, if you were part of this organization, what you would want to do is increase accessibility and increase acceptance of pedophilia. Now, by increasing accessibility, that would mean having greater access to kids and whatnot. Now, the way you would do that is you would remove the support systems around the family. You know, you break the family away from their support systems. And that would be, say, like an organization like the church or something like that, because you have a whole bunch of families gathering together and to support each other, and they're part of a community. You have that. And then you'd also want to break up the traditional family. You know? You'd want to break up the traditional family. You would basically your idea would be to have both parents working and make things easier for families to fall apart and whatnot. You'd have that. And then that would isolate any children that there are. And then finally you would want to make the act of pedophilia acceptable. Now, the way you would do that is you would increase increase people's tolerance for debauchery and whatnot. You by putting out media and whatnot, sexualizing women and whatnot. You progressively put out more and more media sexualizing women, and that would feed into itself. That would feed into itself, you know? And then, yeah. Then from there, yeah. You know? It's just, I find it odd. The idea of a pedophile cabal at the top of society, in the upper crust. I honestly find it odd, but yeah, you look at what's happened the last 100 years. You look at what's happened in the last 100 years, and it makes you hella suspicious. You know what I'm saying? Is it coincidence, or are they just co-opting the natural trends? But with cuties and whatnot, it's definitely a red flag. You know, I definitely believe it is the people out there trying to test the boundaries. Put their feet in the water, see what happens. It's almost like a sort of lipness test, if you will. You got people on the far left. They're a lot of them are bashing people who don't support this movie as far right, when that's actually not the fucking case. These are people who are concerned that children are getting sexualized. It's almost like this movie, yeah. If there was a secret society of these people out there, and they ordered this movie to come out or something like that. They want to see who's loyal and who isn't. It could as a that's my take on it. That's my take. They want to see the people who are in the fold completely, the people who have drunk the Kool-Aid completely. That they want to see if like people how far some of their own have gone, you know? And yeah, you have journalists and whatnot, journalists and whatnot who are supporting this movie, even though there's obvious exploitation of children in this movie. Like this movie isn't a warning at all. It's a litmus test by the top tier echelons. I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. And it's also them trying to see if the world is ready for pedophilia. That's my honest take. As conspiratorial as I sound, I'm looking at the blocks, and a lot of them fit together a bit too well. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the Legos, and the pieces fit too perfectly. if that's possible. These disjointed pieces. Now, I admit, I could be wrong. Maybe it's not been the last 100 years that this shit has been happening. Maybe it's the last 80, maybe 60 years. Maybe it's not happening at all. But I wouldn't be shocked if it is happening. Jeffrey fucking Epstein, he obviously knew too much. It is, and the way he got off and whatnot. Yeah, that guy knew too much, and they killed him for it. I sincerely believe that. How much he knew, we'll never know, 'cause he's dead. A lot of important if important people want, if the wealthy elites wanted a person dead, they've got the monetary resources to do it, even if you're inside prison. You know? That's just my take on it. So anyway, I honestly hope this movie's cutie gets shut the fuck down. You know? I personally would never subscribe to Netflix. Maybe I would subscribe to Hulu first because they got the Orville. They have the Orville. I love me some Orville. Oh, I'm psyched and prepared for season 3. Ugh. Now, how are they gonna top? How is season 2 gonna be topped? How is Identity Part 1 and Identity Part 2 gonna be topped? How is the last episode of The Orville gonna be topped? Yeah, the last 2 episodes where they ended up creating an alternate timeline. You know? I'm excited for that. But yeah. If I can, with what I know, with what I've heard, if I can figure something's not right, other people can. And I encourage people out there to try and find out the truth for themselves. Don't act rashly on your information you have. Don't go to doing stupid shit. That's my take. Anyway, I'm the Blood Knight of the Old Republic of Bloodganistan. Like, share, and subscribe. Stay frosty. Stay sexy, San Diego. Get your jewels in one where you can. And I'm a spaceman. Peace out.